Hello and welcome to Jokakaka. I'm Jim,
I'm Sam.
and here we are.
Yes, happy 10-year anniversary for JoJolion.
Oh my god! Thank you
I'm
for
sure if you,
stopping me. I
yeah, I
wasn't gonna
had
say that.
no, we don't need to advertise the fucking podcast. What it is, they know what JoJolion you're getting yourself into at this point.
Well, I feel like you have to. You just gotta say it for the people in back.
No.
Yeah, 10 years of JoJolion.
Mm-hmm.
Damn. Almost as old as Sarugi.
I forgot Tsurugi's age at this point.
I think everyone has. But so yeah, wow, 10 years. So I think it was literally like the 10th anniversary is when the chapter came out. Talking about chapter 107 of JoJolion.
Yes, and we are here to discuss that.
Yes.
A lot have happened.
We, as you know, we are your favorite JoJolion review podcast. The only JoJolion review podcast that I know of.
Yeah.
Also, I just want to say a little housekeeping beforehand. If you like our stuff, if you don't like our stuff, whatever, I don't give a crap.
I don't give a shit.
Please subscribe. I'm begging.
We're almost at 5K.
We've almost hit 5,000 subs. We just we're under 500 away, and like for us that would be a huge milestone. And we really want to see we want to do like a fun 5K special. We're not exactly sure what form that would take, but so if you like our stuff, please subscribe. We just do mostly JoJo stuff. We've been doing some Jujutsu Kaisen stuff lately, but that's gonna end.
I don't even know what episode we have. Like at least 1 or 2 sessions left of recording that, which is usually like 3 to 4 episodes of a session.
Yeah. So yeah, subscribe would be great. If you're not on YouTube, then follow us on whatever platform. Spotify is also super loved. You're just getting all these plugs ahead of time.
Yeah.
Let's jump into the chapter discussion, Sam.
Okay, it's a lot to talk about in this one, especially everybody has been like crazy about the chapter, especially with the what we left off with at 106.
It's crazy because last chapter was a very good one. And it's funny because we at the end of the year we always do like our JoJolion wrap up, and we talk about all the chapters that came out that year. And last year there was like 1 or 2 chapters that were really stellar. Yeah. This one already, we're still like halfway into the year, and we've had 2 incredible chapters.
They're pretty much done dealing with Wonder Review for the most part, so.
And that is such a like burden off of everyone's shoulders.
Yes. So to get like 2, like it's just like the typical like chapter, we get like 2 seconds of Gappy that cuts away like the more interesting stuff that everybody talks about.
It is hilarious. I do want to say the cover page is fucking insane. So it is chapter 107 of JoJo. Caato is introduced in what, like the early 80s, maybe even before that.
Yeah, years ago.
Literal years ago. And we just unceremoniously, the chapter cover, we see her fucking stand. This unnamed stand that everybody has been clamoring about. Everyone's wanted to fucking know about. Yeah. What do you think of the design?
Very good. I was supposed to talk about it more when we get to the actual like panel of it, but because like you don't get a good look of it on the cover spread compared to what you get in the chapter.
Yeah, maybe okay. Yeah, we'll get to that when we get to it, I guess. But
what is so interesting about Part 8 stands though is just like the humanoid thing, or just like there where like their ability is more so like already like on them, or like an accessory on them.
Yeah.
It's like if Hot Pants had like wasn't it just a meat spray, like a stand also like signifying that also the stand. It's like a real Tusk thing that's not Act 4.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I really like when they kind of do that, where like, oh, it is a stand, but it's just just what it looks like, when it's not like their weapon stand is like not in their hands. It's like a full horse's gun with also kind of stand over it.
But so one thing I also like too, kind of speaking of Part 3, this the cover page kind of gives me like Part 3 vibes, like not really. And I don't really mean it that way. I mean, like, it kind of looks like a tarot card because it's written like grandmother on top. And I thought that was kind of cool.
It's almost as if they were going with a card motif here.
Oh.
He went beyond and with a card gimmick. I do know Gappy's still dripping wet.
It is pretty good. I like that he's totally fine. He's a little bloody, but he's totally fine.
Yeah, going to see Holly, which I don't even know idea what Gappy's going to be into. Like at this point, like unless everybody's gonna go to the hospital, like I predicted, I think of like having the mother-son battle.
Honestly, I really like how like everything is out of Josuke's hands now. Like all he
Yes.
can really do is chill. Like he's removed from
Be there with
danger.
Holly.
Unfortunately, his cool eye thing is indeed gone. His eyes
Yes.
are fine. He just has
They didn't
like
last long.
yeah, he just has a little bit of like stone scarring around it.
The
Very
bloody corpses
sad.
are still sitting there with Mamazuku's hover hand.
I didn't even notice.
He has a
that.
hover hand.
It's hover handing. Yeah, just very sad. I didn't think that Kyo was gonna come back. I really didn't like that. Wasn't a real thought that I had. And like, sorry, not Kyo. Her name is Kay. Her name is Kay. I didn't think Kay was gonna
it's a
come back
habit
from the dead.
still.
But I guess it's confirmed that Kay is very much not. And this is pretty much like also Rai. Rai's got to be dead. All right, like we can put that to bed.
Yeah, he stopped monologuing, so maybe he's now officially dead. We'll see. You never know. I gotta see that ghost. Also, there's just a huge like hole in like the hospital with like smoke coming out of it.
Yeah, that was during the fight. Like the
I know,
interview.
because you see it from the outside though, which I think is hysterical.
So that was I think that's a really cool transition because then it's like, oh, and then we're gonna jump over to the freaking house, and I really like when we see these big shots of what Moria looks like because it makes it feel more like a real place to me.
Yep. Oh, it's always nice to see the actual like layout of the town that's not just like the Hijikata estate or the hospital, pretty
Yeah.
much. Like exploring the town's very fun. It's like when the few chances you get to like the fruit parlor is always very fun.
So then we cut back to best girl Caato, who is standing there, and her first fucking words are about potatoes.
Yeah, I hope you're ready for potatoes just being like, haha, potatoes, just like JoJo kind of stuff coming
The new
from
fucking funny meme is
Yes.
just Inkin Mizame potatoes, which are
Yes.
supposedly, as Caato describes, a type of potato that you cut up and then deep fry.
And also, everybody just so incredibly horny for Caato. It's
Good.
it's like
Good.
Lady D, but for JoJo.
Honestly, Kato's original design was like fine, but making her undershirt like mesh is just like it's doing it. It's Rocky's he's really lighting the heat. He's turning up the heat.
It's gonna inspire also have to inspire every Caato cosplayer to like learn card tricks and like throw cards.
Caato is sick. I'm fucking obsessed with Caato right now.
Mommy
Her design is
makeout day.
amazing. It's really funny how part 8 is just like, all right, here's a character that you haven't seen for like 4 years of your actual life, and I'm gonna just make her the coolest shit you've ever seen. They did it with fucking Mitsuba before too.
Yeah. Oh, I saw on Twitter where like it's like she appeared in more panels in this chapter alone than she did in the rest of JoJolion.
I literally believe that because I was looking up. I was like standing Caato. I became a Caato stan on Twitter. Follow us at Jokakaka Podcast.
And I'm still on Team Mitsuba, so.
Hey, I'm up for the G MILF, Sam. I want the G MILF.
G Mills.
She's a grandma. I love that. Like Rocky's first thing that he does in the chapter 2 is remind you grandmother.
See,
like this is the grandmother.
If I wanted to do the energy, I wouldn't have had a picture of like what a mother or looks like from like Mitsuba's dealing with. That they look like goblins, and then you look at the like mother of actual grandmother of like Tsurugi, and she's like looks younger than them. or like even the old lady from Blue Hawaii, who's like probably like closer to her age.
You could
also the prison system was good, like didn't like harm her image at all.
You could very easily show the picture, any scene with Caato and Jobin standing next to each other. You could show that to a normal person and then be like, oh, look at these siblings.
Oh wow, his wife looks great. Like,
yeah, literally. But yeah,
we got potatoes, Inca Potato 101. Which is the weirdest thing to come from the traumatizing incident of seeing her child in a bloody mess.
Honestly,
is to say potatoes. Also, oh, she's back. What is she gonna say? Potatoes.
I honestly like this a lot.
Jim is like, I already ordered like a sack of Inca potatoes. I'm gonna
cut them up. I'm gonna deep fry them, and then I'm gonna make a cream stew out of them. It's funny, the words cream and stew don't exist next to each other in my head, but I guess you could make a cream stew.
Sure.
But so I actually really like this because, as she explains, of course it's like a hilarious, like random moment.
Only in JoJo kind of thing.
But then she explains, like, after she does her lengthy explanation of what they are, she explains like the context and how it's like,
Yes.
this is something that I connect to with my son, and I
It
do
just
it. It's labor that I perform for my son, and he is
it could
now
have easily
dead.
been like, oh, I came here to give him some stew. Anyway, here's the information about the ingredients of everything. But then what's it called? Yashiho goes to the Mamazuku thing of just having to repeat the same thing through the entire chapter, kind of thing. Of just,
Honestly, I
I don't
mean,
blame her. I don't blame her because
it
this
even
guy.
it makes sense in context. Like we don't know, nobody knows if how like caught up to speed Caato is here, but like I am reading
they
JoJolion. I know
they
the rules.
they do not know how menacing Toru is like, even though like she's been like seen to know so much. Although just like the panel, just like seeing her hair, it just looks like her hair weighs so like the buns of like, the twin tails. It just like looks like it just weighs like a ton.
Kato's back is doing a lot of work. Let's just say that.
It
Kato's
really
back
is.
has a lot of weight on it.
She has 4 bags on her that she has to like, manage.
Um, but so yeah, I mean, I'm just kind of like, I know, and I know it's like because this is like a serial or like a monthly publication. Like you need to have a little bit of like what's the word like
But
catching up.
like,
But
okay,
it's like okay, I get it. I know all these rules, and so do you. So we don't need to like
but the thing is, so she came to the house for Jobin, but like, how did she get? How did she go in there? Because like, everybody was basically watching the garage on one end, and the other everybody in the house was like inside, like, as well. So
um
like,
that is actually a good point. I didn't think about that.
she just ended up like in the garage with like Toru was watching and Yashiho was watching and Joshu probably would have seen his mother as well.
You got
Also,
me
it
really.
just sucks where like like Jobin is like is like her greatest child, and then the other ones are just kind of like thrown in the trash compared to Jobin.
Um,
But I guess it's the most she has most attachment to. But still, it just like feels bad to be like like here's my favorite child, Jobin, and then here's the rest, and they're on the trash can.
and the rest. So I'm looking at some photos right now of the Higashikata estate, and it
Hmm.
does have kind of a wraparound driveway. So it's not impossible that Caato, let's say for example that Caato entered the house like a second before the
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 plane.
plane part smashed
Yeah.
into it. Like I guess it's possible that she could have gone through or whatever.
Yeah.
I feel like we're not supposed to really be thinking about this too much, but that is a good point.
No. Just big. You gotta keep Toru away from him before he crumbles into rocks.
Yes.
'Cause he's literally taking forever to just crumble into rock mode.
This is like a very classic JoJo moment too of one character being like, literally do nothing. Like Caato, please, literally just don't move. He's bleeding out. Let him
He's
die.
he's picked up the most menacing knife you would keep in a fucking garage.
So it's like a saw blade. He's fucking
Yeah.
Bloodborne. Toru's going Bloodborne on us.
Yeah. Gotta love
Also,
it.
I mean, this is something that I feel like I gloss over when I discuss the chapter, but the suspense in this scene is like really awesome. Like
Yeah.
even though there's a lot of like dialogue happening,
Yeah.
seeing Toru just like take his like last bit of strength to stand up and pick up the blade, of course,
And
futilely.
try to goad her into like attacking him.
Yeah, because he knows that he doesn't actually have to attack. He
I
just
mean,
knows that he has to taunt
she's
her.
she's like, bitch, I've been in prison. I've probably been like shivved or have like a stand battle in this prison. She's
Oh,
if she's from like like a similar prison to Part 6, then she's like probably been through some shit.
hey, it shares a name.
Like I said, remember last episode I said they could do like a one shot Joshu like getting the incidents, but doesn't could do like her and her prison like events that happen. We don't. She could have had an entire adventure inside that freaking prison cell.
I would love that.
But yeah, he tries to goad her on, and like mentioning about Jobin and all that stuff.
So I think this is like the big mystery moment, kind of for me, is this monologue that Toru goes on as he's like bleeding out, like struggling breathing. He's like,
When you're halfway
huh.
almost to death, you can think of a good monologue.
So basically, I kind of want to summarize he mentions like a rock atop a cliff, and
Just like that, I think he was referring to he was referring to the rock that's like, remember when Ojiro almost fell off of?
well,
it was-
that's where
It's a
what is it?
tree, but
That's
yeah,
the meditation pine.
yeah.
Um, And we don't see a tree here, so I would assume this is a different
Yeah,
peak.
I was, yeah. I kind of got like I thought it was burned to that, but like, oh wait, that's a tree. I think when I was reading
Hmm.
it.
So I want to actually just
Yeah,
read this
go
straight.
ahead.
So this is the dog park translation, by the way. I did happen to read both. This is just the one that I pulled up first. There is a cliff by the beach, and atop the
Yes.
cliff is a rock. There's a rock way up there, or way up high, Caato Higashikata-san. The clear, sorry, messing this up. The only things this rock sees are dreams and memories. That's it. Just
Mm-hmm.
memories of the beautiful beachside view. The clear sunny skies, the rainbows that come out after storms, the mist, the glow of the lighthouse, the seagulls flying by, the sight of umbrella flowers. Those dreams are all that will remain. They'll remain even after they end. Like things like the difference between victory and defeat are irrelevant to the rock atop the cliff. But I wonder what will become of your guys' dreams in the end. So,
A
what
pretty
is your
good
take?
monologue he had there.
It is really good. I really like this, and it's got a whole page devoted to it. What
Yes.
do you think about this? What's your takeaway from this line?
He's just, it's a fucking Toru speech, man. He's just like,
So, I kind of have. So to me, this is like, I'm very much like Caato is not a rock person. That's very much like my
yes,
theory going into this now. And to me, this
too
is
much
really
emotion.
just Toru kind of saying basically that the rock people are just like, and him in particular, I think he's really highlighting himself, are
Hmm.
just like the unchanging, just something that cannot be reckoned with. Like
Yes.
it's so above everything else that it doesn't even. Um, sorry, my throat's like all fucked up today. It's saying that it's like it's so beyond dreams, even like it exists above everything else, and I thought that was really interesting because
Yeah.
we know that Toru's goal was like money, which was
Right now, yeah.
that felt
It's
pretty
weird.
weak, but it's
A rock
interesting.
sanctuary he wanted to make. A rock and bee sanctuary.
We know he is associated with B. Uh, so
Yeah.
I think it's interesting. I think he's almost like asserting that the rock people, because they're just these like parallel thing, like they're so much more superior. Their dreams are
Yes.
something that cannot be crushed, whereas humans are like they're shorter lived, they're easy to manipulate.
Yeah. They get
It's pretty
they're a
sick.
prisoner of their emotions, all that stuff.
Yeah, it's really sick to see Caato just like totally trounce him after this. Like
Yeah.
I love her
Also, is
response
it
to this.
okay? I'm pretty sure Rocky like drew the wrong face card for because the king with like the sword in the head is like not doesn't match. It's like because I'm pretty sure the King of Hearts is
The Swordhead King.
yeah, and it doesn't have that unless it's just a stand. You put like oh yeah, because stands. Sure.
Isn't it? Oh my god, I'm gonna sound like an idiot. Isn't it like the red cards have the sword in head and the black cards
The
don't?
King of Hearts has a sword in his head.
Uh,
King of Diamonds does not. He's just holding the sword, I believe.
interesting.
I googled it and I had the image of like a different King of Hearts where he's smoking a joint.
That is fucking funny.
Sure.
Um,
Yeah, oh yeah, he's holding an axe in the diamonds, but it's
Yeah.
like not in his head.
so I mean, like, I guess it depends on the deck. I'm
Yeah,
seeing
but
a lot of
blame it
older
on the
sets.
stand.
I'm seeing a lot of older sets where the King of Hearts is just holding the sword, not impaling his head.
Oh,
But
some of them are those are the safe for work ones where you can't have your children see a king with a
Murdering
sword in
himself.
his head. Yeah, because mother to child, you gotta put those child locks on the her card.
on the card set.
Gotta enter them.
And as we know, Caato is a loving mother, so she keeps only the safest cards for her children.
Yeah,
That
and then
was
we
a
get
good
this
observation.
name.
Though.
Yeah, we get the name of the stand though,
Crazy.
which is Space Trucking, a Deep Purple reference, and I feel sorry for every Deep Purple Space Trucking page that doesn't have comment slots
Yeah.
or disabled.
I saw that the main one, or one of the biggest ones, does have comments disabled, thankfully.
So
Can we stop that? I just want to go on a grandstand. Okay, all you JoJo bronies out there, all you JoJo fans,
Oh,
please
Dad.
stop going to whatever funny
you can't stop them.
whatever funny band reference, like, the Killer Queen, I'm going to type in Google Killer Queen and leave a funny comment. Please stop this.
Chew, beautiful Duang.
Sam, stop. Sam, you're encouraging them.
This already happened. There's no way.
I know. But so
You
yeah,
not all artists are like King Crimson who like are totally down with like being a reference.
It is funny. I really would love to know how Prince felt that he was so heavily inspired upon, or he inspired so much of the like imagery in JoJo. I really wonder how he felt about that.
Yeah, who knows how the state feels? You mean?
Yeah, right. Or sorry, the artist formerly known as Prince,
So,
because he's
so
dead.
yeah, so it's like this big hulking like design, and it had like very skinny, like the hands look like skeleton, like a very bone like, where like the rest of it's like kind of hulking, broad shoulders, the symbolize the back and the shoulders that are holding up the weight on her.
Well, to me, it looks very like circle based. Like it's very
Yeah,
rounded, just like a lot of Kato's design. She's got
I
like
like it had like diamonds and heart. She's primarily had like hearts and diamond cards. It's like the ones we've seen, but she does have like the club card. I mean, but like we primarily seen like the hearts and diamonds on the design with like a spade card on it.
it
And
does also appear. I maybe I'm wrong, but it looks like she has dominoes on her on the head.
yeah, it kind of looks like dominoes.
They certainly read as dominoes, at least in this one shot. I don't know. Um, and
Cause
then
like yeah,
the other, yeah, like as you said, the other
I
design, like
I don't
the
see many
are
club
incorporated.
designs on it, but I
It's
see
very
like
cool.
spades, hearts, and diamonds. But yeah, it's very cool. I like the card motif's always a cool gimmick.
This is like I know part eight has like some really great stand designs. For me, this one is like an immediate like jump to the top of the list. Like I really want to see it more. I want to see it drawn more, which we
Yeah,
might not see, but I think it's so fucking cool. I also just love like she immediately starts like throwing cards at him, and I
yeah.
just I love card throwing. It's so fun, and seeing a stand that's based
But
around it
like
makes me happy.
it's more like an insult one where like you doesn't notice they're like piercing him. It's just like you're throwing cards at me. I'm dying. You're throwing cards at me, kind of thing. Where like they're kind of like smack him in the face.
Yeah, and so here, this is the other thing that like I guess this isn't considered an attack.
Well, well no, as we'll learn. But yeah, he goads her on saying like you killed some obnoxious boy. I mean, I think I read the dog part section of this of like it coming off like a real bastard in the dog part translation.
Yeah. Yeah,
But
Toru is just an asshole,
he
but
just
we love
mocks
him.
like Jobin being dead and like all his memories and like and are just dead in the pile of blood.
Sad. He's not dead, Sam. There's still hope, right? Jobin could come back.
But then it looks like he like a bunch of weight crashes into him. At first I thought that like is this like the calamities going on him at first, but then he realized like explain what happens.
Yeah, and I
'Cause,
really
like
love.
it reminded me of like the rain calamity like hitting him or some shit, but like it's kind of like it's still like a taste of his own medicine, but like not like his own doing.
Hmm. I really love the imagery here of like because basically we didn't even say the stand's ability is like exactly what everyone thought it was. It was
Yes.
basically just like she can keep objects between two cards, so
Yeah.
it's very
Also,
much like
the
D4C kind of.
the image of what's it called? Like him on the ground with a knife holding up, and you see like the knife's like half of it's gone, and like his arm
Yeah,
is like gone. It's just a really cool image of like
it
of
is
it.
super sick, and like also. Yeah, the one you're talking about where you see like the knife is just disappearing. It's made even cooler because there's just a bunch of cards falling around it. Like
Yes,
just super cool imagery. I really fucking love this stand.
yes. And then
Um, but it doesn't
after
count
that,
as an attack.
no, well we'll get there. Because we see the head doctor finally he got back quick.
I do love that he's
Because
all bloody though. I love that he's like,
I'm pretty sure this is the one from the hospital because we've seen it before where the head doctor can appear multiple places at once, but since this is the one that seems like there's no cane, he's bleeding all over the place because
he
he
has the
had
hole in his
physically
head.
had the cane. Yeah, he has a hole in the head, like.
No, you're
But
you're right. You're totally
but he
right.
got I guess his speed just went like once he got away from like this nurses from before, he just like turned like the speed up like 300% and like ran. Cause like he seemed like he had to like walk like with Wonder Review like that, like the actual like puppet one, and not just like
Yeah,
the symbol that Wonder Review is like in the area working its magic.
it certainly felt like that. But
Yeah.
here he is. He's here
Then
now.
again, Wonder Review is just like a fucking like lecture of like what it can and can't do and the rules and all that
Yeah.
stuff. So yeah, then we get more Yakuho yelling at her, and then she's like basically like goads him of just like you want to touch me, don't you? Like pursuing him, like kind of looked like he's pursuing him, but she had no intention of attacking him. She was basically just defending herself from him. But it's such a Chad move just to do to Toru in one review, just like, oh, I had no intention of attacking you. I'm literally just like keeping you there just so I can do my shit. And I'm keeping you there so I can finish like explaining, which is hilarious.
To me, it's like, it's kind of annoying though, and I know I shouldn't be thinking this deeply about stand mechanics, but like, remember that time when Mitsuba like just
look out the window?
Yeah, she literally looked out the window and walked towards the window, and she got hurt by the stand. Like,
even Toru said, like, if you like, remember when like Yashihiko was calling out to him, he's like, if you just see me, Wonder of You is just gonna put you in priority, kind of thing.
Yeah, and it's just a little confusing as to how Caato approaching him, like throwing objects on him, like
and then she does attack him. Oh, I guess she didn't attack him. She had the mentality. It's just like the power of thought. Where like I thought the whole thing was going to, the whole thing like Gappy was like, oh, I'm not going to pursue him, kind of thing was gonna happen, or like he's gonna come to me. I'm like, okay,
but then
this is how it's gonna work. But then it didn't happen like that.
But then, like, another thing with Mitsuba, like, the time when she was making dinner, like, she wasn't even aware, she wasn't even thinking about the fucking head doctor. Like the ceiling just started attacking her.
Because they started using the term, like, let's use the term pursuing, and more so if you attack him, kind of thing, or you're thinking about attacking him.
It's just kind of annoying to me that Caato is just, I mean, I guess you could make the argument that Soft and Wet Go Beyond has, like, heavily nerfed his ability to counterattack.
We still don't know much about Beyond other than it just can avoid calamities, kind of thing.
Because, like, even thinking back to part 7, like, when when Johnny shot Valentine with, like, the perfect shot thing, he didn't even realize at first that he was doomed. Like, there was a period of time where he still thought he could get away. So maybe we're in that kind of situation where, like, Toru is just completely, like, he's totally null now, but...
Yeah, and maybe the Go Beyond is going to affect whatever's going to happen at the end of this as well. Like, there could be a side effect of being hit by Go Beyond when the transfer going to happen.
Hey, maybe that's what's going to, like, ultimately break the curse, because I kind of want to talk about that now, I guess. Let's hurry up and finish this.
That's the very last thing to talk about, because that's, like, the biggest reveal.
Okay, yeah, we'll table that for later.
So she knows about the equivalent exchange, all that stuff. Toru's like wondering what her aim is, and like, why did you come to the house itself? And she wants to break the curse, essentially. And we see a little hand appear out of the deck, and then it cuts to a flashback.
Yeah, and I love this flashback. I'm so sad. I'm so sad at Jobin dying. I don't want to admit it. I'm gonna be Jobin lifer until I die. But I love this scene. I absolutely love this scene. It's really funny and it's cute.
With what people are predicting, man, who knows what's going to happen, especially with the transfer. So yeah.
But we get this cute little scene
moment.
Yeah, where not only are we're just having the connection further between Jobin and Caato, but also
real quick, this is happening in the Hishikata estate, right?
Yes.
And she sneaked into the house to do this.
We don't know if she snuck in. All we know is that
she's not welcome into the house, Jim.
Well, presumably this takes place like after the Ozone Baby fight and before now.
She was probably sunbathing, and Jobin gave her the hand sign to come in there or something when the dad was out of the house.
Mm-hmm. But I really like this scene because it's like even a grown up boy like Jobin, he needs his mommy's help too. Moms are great, aren't they? We love moms. We love
when your mom looks younger than him.
Also, she does slap him twice.
Yes, one of the big takeaways is that the potted plant is like the sap and the seeds seem to have the same quality of healing as well.
Yes, which to me this was like honestly the biggest like revelation of this, because I thought because it seems like there's no fruit left. That seems to be like the issue that we're having.
There's one piece that's like very early state of growing.
So
I think just left.
So yeah, but even that I'm not sure. Is that like confirmed?
I'm not sure it's confirmed, but I think from the picture it looked like there was 3 fruit that were growing and 2 have been eaten.
But yeah, so we see that because the beetles were near the Rokakaka or Lokakaka plant, whatever, one of them ate and these are the beetles from the beetle fight, right? Like these are the same ones, right?
Because yeah, the one had the horn broken, and the other one was just like the glue was coming off of like another one.
Yes, which I absolutely love this callback. I love that that's a callback. Very good.
Yes.
Also, it's funny that like the Josuke went through equivalent exchange, and also Josuke's beetle went through equivalent exchange. Very funny to me. But so yeah, we learned
It's
as
like
you
poetry.
said
It rhymes.
It's like poetry, it rhymes. As you said, the sap itself caused an equivalent exchange to happen.
Yes. But and
Uh,
this is like the most fair equivalent. It's like more like the Yashaho equivalent exchange, where it was just like it took the mandible from the one, like
well, it looks like
it's
it
sim-
took like his lower skull. It's kind of weird.
I had to look
Or
at like
its
what
face.
they
It took it. Jobin says it took its face.
did. The face ended up like this, but I have more so like the mandible being. I had to look at what they looked like originally.
So the
But like
horn, the one's horn didn't break. Jobin's was the one. I think it's the.
one had the glue come off, and one had like the gappy one. I think the one that grabbed like the singular horn.
You clearly don't remember.
I don't.
I'm telling you that
I
in this
I think I'm.
chapter it says
I'm sorry. I think of the Yakuza one had a mini game where you had like you basically had like waifu version of like beetles and bugs, and you fight each other based off real bugs. And I'm just like thinking of like that.
I don't care.
I know you don't.
The chapter says the the Hercules beetle's face was exchanged for the mandible of the one that broke. So that's the only thing that matters. Is pretty
But they're
unfair
still alive.
exchange.
Both are still alive.
I certainly wouldn't want to have my face removed though, personally.
Face off.
No, thank you.
Which one's John Travolta and which one's Nicolas Cage?
You decide.
So.
But so this is the part that I'm a little confused in, I guess. Like, so they're talking about the plant, and they're saying like, okay, should I keep it here? What should I do? And Caato starts throwing her funny little.
He said we got the branch. That's all we need. Once it grows, we'll get our hand on fruit and seeds as well. So that means it can grow more. So we're not just like limited to this one specific plant right now as well.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, he mentions poor Tom, and he's dead, and he basically knows like there's probably going to be more people coming for the branch.
So the one thing though is like
what?
She does like throw her card and conceals some of it. Is that what I'm supposed to be interpreting here? Like,
well,
because she throws her card and it starts like going away, like the way that Toru went away.
Yeah. Oh, also, yeah. He mentioned Tsurugi. He mentioned like maybe I should tell my dad, and she slaps him like the Batman slapping Robin meme. And yeah, and then she has the plant. So I'm assuming she's storing like a part of the I'm gonna guess another fruit that we like weren't aware of in there as well.
Honestly, that is very likely because so what she says to him, she says, "Job, and if there comes a time where you want to hide the plant, let's do this. Until the time comes, keep growing it here in this room." So she does throw cards on it, and she does conceal like part of it, but she also does just tell him, "No, keep growing it here." So.
I think she just maybe took a part just in case something happens to Job in order to the fruit, so she can like use it to heal the curse. Because if you know her, she wants to undertake the curse or curing, fixing the family curse.
Yeah, it's just interesting. Like I'm curious as to why. So say that she does the cards on the thing. In this scene, it looks like a quarter of the potted plant vanishes.
Yes.
But that's not what the plant looks like. The pot looks like whole. So is this like... I don't know. I'm not exactly sure what this is implying here. I'm a little confused. I'm going to kind of pretend like it didn't happen. Because the next page makes you... It kind of makes you think that she's going to bring out a fruit, but then she brings out Tsurugi.
So I hope whenever another JoJo fighting game happened and she's in it, that she has a move where she can just throw a child out and like at people.
Her stone grandson.
Yes.
So the other thing I love about this part is Toru screams at her, which is crazy. It feels weird to have Toru scream. He's like, "What are you hiding between your cards?" Like, oh, I love it so much. He's really panicking here.
So yeah, he learns it's a child, and he makes contact with Toru. So the thing I'm curious. So because when Yashaho had her fruit, and she perfectly got the arm, and that was it. She got what she needed, and like. but like, so when Toru ate it, does it matter who ate the fruit then? Because like I feel like whoever ate the fruit was gonna get the equivalent exchange that they need. Like,
Yeah, that's a really good point because wasn't that part of the whole issue with the original like the Rokakaka was that it would just exchange something randomly from you.
yes,
But with this new one, it's like
it takes it from someone else that's near you or you make contact with.
yeah, you as the fruit ingester primarily are just benefiting 100%. And you're right, we saw that already. So yeah, I don't know. Like, is it going to heal Tsurugi? Is it going to take? Do you think Tsurugi is going to be like really injured when it's over?
Like, yeah, and how does this rock disease work on a rock human? It's also
Yeah.
an interesting thing. People think that Tsurugi is actually gonna like either he's gonna become like a rock human or like Toru is gonna have a weird like mixture of both of them because like he is very unemotional in the flash forward and everything, and people think his stand is just gonna like we know his stand is gonna act up because everything seems to be back to normal, and I was thinking like if somehow Wonder Review and Paper Moon King fuse and like he looked at like the corpse of or like the body, like when you open that up, like I'm thinking, is he using like the weird Wonder Review part of him to like take the form of him to make everything seem like all right, or to trick something? Like, because we know that Wonder Review can imitate people or imitate someone, so
Yeah.
it's just weird shit. Like I don't know what it's gonna lead to because if anything, because right now the Toru wants to get healed. That was his whole point. So I don't know.
Going from the flash forward, it certainly seems like Tsurugi is not okay.
Yes,
and
but the thing his stand was acting up before any of this happened with Ojiro.
yes,
Where like the whole like baby in the fountain and then Ojiro almost falling off a cliff, like something going on with his stand, and people like his stand's gonna upgrade it, and maybe with Wonder after this whole equipment exchange, it's just gonna ramp up even more.
I hate to say it, but I feel like we're gonna get like a Thanos snap moment where like something big just changes everything, and like
yeah, it has to. Like,
and by Thanos snap, I guess I really mean like the original one, not the one in the movie, because when he snaps it, it's like everything is like the same. He just like changes it. You know what I mean? Like he just kills a bunch of people.
Yeah.
Spoilers.
It's just like because the hell has to get fixed. Joshi has to have an arm. Like there'd be no trauma, even though like the flash forward we have no signs of Jobin or Mitsuba. Like there's the body bag is still there though, and like no sign of Yashiho or Gappy or anybody. So, and maybe it has something to do with like people saying like remember the whole theory was that Kaito Stan was gonna be a you could just erase people from existence or something.
When everyone thought that K was like erased.
Yeah.
Well, not everyone thought, but the theory was that
So,
K was erased in some way.
but that's why I'm so interested for the next chapter to see like what is this fusion like, mean, or what are the rules, because it seemed like Toru should be getting the heal and not Tsurugi, or maybe whoever eats it and like whoever like gets touched first, like the person who eats it gets touched first, then they like.
It's clearly a special case because not only is Tsurugi like totally cursified,
and Toru getting hit by Go Beyond, would that reverse like the equivalent exchange direction?
Hey, that's a really good theory, and that makes a lot of sense because as I was saying, like I feel like Go Beyond is still activated right now. Like in the
he has not put away soft and wet as we saw in like the beginning of the chapter.
Also, if you look, in the beginning, the first shot we see of Josuke, he has like a bubble still around his birthmark. So I guess you could imagine
it could still be affecting him in some way.
Yeah, the stand is still active, and as I said earlier, like Toru might be completely like Fubar already and not even realize it.
Everybody is fucking like. Also, okay, I forgot to mention this, but this is like a funny thing I thought of in my head. So before like any of this, Tsurugi was with Mitsuba in the room when Jobin told him not to move, right?
Correct,
right?
Wait, when was that?
I said before, like when Jobin before he went to the garage, he told Mitsuba to keep Tsurugi in the bed and not to move, right?
Yeah.
So at some point during that, Caato had to go into that room, take Tsurugi away from Mitsuba into a card, and then launch then they bring him to the garage to Toru, conveniently. Like I feel like she had to know what was happening, or like maybe she was like trying to find the potted plant. That's why she had Sarugi, because she knew someone had it.
I think that it is totally in the realm of possibility, especially
So,
like.
I mean, she had to go into the room, like, Mitsuba, I need to borrow Sarugi for a second, puts him into cards, and it's like, see ya. And she's like, wait, what? Mitsuba has to be aware that her child was taken from her by her in-law.
Honestly, we might see that happen. We might see something from Mitsuba next chapter. We don't know, but like that, yeah, I feel like that's just not really an issue for her.
It's just funny to have the idea of of her coming to the bedroom saying, I need to borrow this real quick, smashes Tsurugi between some cards, and then just like, see ya.
Yeah.
It's just a silly thing they're probably not gonna show. It's just like she had to do this at this point to like get here.
It certainly wasn't what I was expecting.
So, but yeah, I thought that was entertaining. But like, I want to see like an encounter with Mitsuba, because Mitsuba can like shoot stuff in or out, and like and then Caato can like smash up into space. So it'd just be really cool to see like those two stands interact kind of way.
Mm-hmm.
Mitsuba has to like be like her child. Like an important thing with her child is she has to be like coming into this whole thing.
I mean, it could even just have been like Caato seeing Jobin's corpse, going into the room and telling Mitsuba, "I'm going to save Tsurugi."
I know.
It can literally just be that simple.
It's just funny that's like her coming to the room, it's like smashing the kid into cards like in front of the mom.
It could even have been like a safety thing too. Like she obviously she would come knowing there's some big shit going down. Tsurugi's in like the petrification stage, so
I mean she was probably sunbathing I mean she's been like outside of the estate like we've known multiple times, so.
But yeah, I mean,
it's just a stupid thing I find amusing.
Sure. But yeah, overall, I think that's really the end of it. Like it looks like Toru's in pain at the end.
Yeah. So I guess the big question is, what do you think is going to happen with this equivalent exchange then?
I think I've already kind of said it. Like,
yeah, that's the big question coming out of this. I want people like in the comments to see what their predictions are.
Yeah, I really think that the Software Go Beyond is gonna have some sort of adverse effect to it on Toru's part. Maybe it's gonna insert the evil gene inside of Tsurugi.
Evil gene, the rock human gene, you mean?
Yes, I'm actually kind of getting like some Part 7 flashbacks, like because we have the stand that visually uses a similar thing to like D4C. And then we've kind of got this like other character coming and just finishing off like who we thought was like the primary villain. And I feel like we're kind of in like
we lost our Diego, we lost
now.
our hot pants to like a very like quick moment. Like these characters that were built up and just kind of quickly like taken by like another threat.
I feel like we're kind of in the like second Diego stage at the end of Part 7 where we have this like secret second villain that shows up and it's like now we're down to the wire. Who's gonna be
the Poco Loco who comes in somehow, gets the last fruit, the character that like
the lucky one.
The lucky one is gonna come in there and just be like, "Oh, I got the fruit. See you guys." Like, what?
But yeah, I think like Tsurugi's gonna like become evil through like Toru's brain, his cursed brain, and then we're gonna see what happens.
He's gonna get that rock human emotion, like no emotion, like no attachment kind of thing. Even though we've seen rock humans can get we've seen a rock human that had emotional attachment of love, but
and then it's gonna have to be down to Josuke and Yasuho to save the day and confront Tsurugi and do some funny fucking stand attack.
Kill a child.
Beat a child.
Go.
But yeah, I guess that's really it. It was a really good chapter.
Yeah,
super
it's
hype.
Probably one of the most hype revealed. Like it's one of those chapters with like a bunch of reveals coming in. It's always satisfying. Seeing Toru in this position is satisfying.
Yeah, it is really fun seeing him like cower and scream and like not get his way.
Always having a character like come back at the very end and not immediately die the chapter afterwards was nice. But hey, who knows what happened in the chapter after.
Hey, it could happen next chapter. It could very easily happen next chapter.
The head doctor or the head doctor Stan is behind there and be like, "Hey, my hat is also a rock animal now, so You have to deal with
We better not fucking see any more rock animals.
Lola Lilulu.
You mean Lolly?
Sure, it could be called whatever you want it to
Called
be.
the Patriots, Sam. All right.
It's Devin's brother Kevin, and some bullshit could happen with a rock animal.
As long as it isn't
Yashiho,
Kyle.
like, oh, I have another paper clip.
As long as
Or
it isn't
another
Kyle.
hair clip. It's not a hair clip, it's a paper clip.
All right, I think we should wrap it up. Any final thoughts?
No, very good. I'm just excited to see where it goes. I'm worried that this character can just be hot pantsed away, but I'm like Kyle, like we happen to born this way and all that shit.
It is. She really is just this huge uncertainty right now. Like now that she seems
We're
to
worried.
be like getting her way, I'm really interested to see what is she going to do after this? Because like
Yes,
she
I'm
explicitly
worried.
says to Toru, like that, like I came here to break the curse. Like her goal here is like to hand him the curse so that the curse can be broken.
She can easily become a victim to whatever Tsurugi becomes, and that's what worries me. She could be thrown under the train. She can
I
have a
think
cane in her eye.
I think you're onto something.
I'm worried. I'm like excited, but like I'm also worried because we've been to this stage before.
Mm-hmm. I really want people to come back to this specific podcast discussion in like 10 months and clip out all
by
the
the end
bits.
of the year.
Yeah, and clip out all the bits you've said because I feel like you've made like a lot of really strong predictions in this one. It'll be really interesting to see what happens.
Yeah, because I don't want to go down this road again of characters being like people were like, wait, did they really? It like like I said, the hot pants, like the train thing. Oh, they died. Like kind of the Jobin thing. Oh, he's dead. Like
well, Jobin. To be fair, it's just my denial of it. Many characters have said Jobin is dead, like explicitly. So I'm just denying it because I don't believe them.
Alternate universe Jobin comes in,
and he's even stronger and sexier than before.
Except he has insert stand here.
Also, I just wanted to say, because we didn't make this reference explicitly, Space Trucking and Speed King are both Deep Purple songs. I like that it connects these characters more.
I didn't. But I guess I don't look too deep into the references as I didn't like really learn into what Jobin's reference was.
Yeah, Speed King, both Deep Purple. I really like that. It's funny how Truck King, the king is in there from Truck King, even though the song is called Space Truckin'.
Shut up.
It's literally called Space Truckin', but
Shut
whatever.
Up.
It's not the first time that Araki's just kind of changed the name of the song slightly.
Yeah, it's fine. We'll allow it. Just this once, Araki.
What's the one? A green grass or something? I think that one is also kind of a changed one. Whatever. Unimportant.
But yeah, definitely, like I said before, the question is, what do you think is going to happen as a result of the equivalent exchange? And any other predictions, feel free to throw in the comments of the video form of this.
Also, if you're watching on YouTube, drop a subscribe. Just going to remind you again. Also, say what you want our 5,000 subscribers special to be. We're very excited.
You want another Q&A? You want that singular person face reveal that we won't do? Probably, who knows?
I would really love to do a little cooking video where I do either like the fucking potatoes or the dessert, what is it called?
The parfait?
The Romanov. I was thinking of the Romanov that Mamazuka made. No, there's the parfait is like, that's like next level. I'm not good enough to pull that shit off. That and also, and I won't say it, there's a kind of a curse that happens when you say something out loud that you're planning to do. You're less likely to want to do it, so I won't say it.
One of my stand powers is to talk about shit we want to do but never actually do it. Hey, we should do a part 3 podcast continuation.
No!
Jujutsu Kaisen butts his head in there.
Sam, you've cursed us forever.
That's my stand power. I can talk about all this shit we want to do and then never go into fruition. So
right.
Yeah.
Do you want to plug us up?
Yes. Thank you very much for listening to this episode. Thank you for, I guess, how many 10 years of JoJolion, man. Like we've been doing this for like the podcast for 2 or 3 years now.
Sam, do you want to know what's fucking crazy?
Hmm.
We're nearing our 4th year covering JoJolion.
Christ.
I know.
I've been reading it longer than that too. It's even worse than me. I've been reading it monthly.
We're going to definitely do something special on the anniversary. I don't have my phone next to me, but it's sometime in July when we did our first podcast.
I still remember being being the baby boy, being caught up at chapter 30 or 40ish, and reading it at KatsuCon. It's still crazy to me. It's been going on for 10 years, and I've been pretty reading it for 6 or 7 of those years. It's weird.
Damn.
But yeah.
Well, yeah. All right, plug, please. I need to start editing this so I can post it.
Yes. Thank you all again. Like, comment, subscribe. Check out some of our other videos. If you like Jujutsu Kaisen, we have videos about that, and I'm gonna keep saying maybe part 3 in the future. Who knows?
Well, Sam and I are currently on the Jujutsu Kai quest, where we're watching every single episode of the anime and doing a podcast on every single episode.
We just had an episode, I think, came out the day this podcast released, I think, because Jujutsu Wednesdays.
Yeah, Jujutsu Kai Quest Wednesday, baby.
I forget what episode we released, but you can figure it out.
It's the one I called Omega LOL, or I called it Mega LOL. It's the one where they
rate Jim's thumbnails a game in that.
Yeah, everyone's laughing at what's his name? Ichigo, the main character from Bleach. Everyone's laughing at him.
Oh my god.
All right, follow me on Twitter. I am at King Protus. Follow the podcast. It's at Jokakaka Podcast.
You can follow me at Gokaikun if you want. You also join the Discord, our Jokakaka Discord, to talk about the chapter or any other manga, especially people talk about One Piece, Jujutsu, Attack on Titan, it's done, and many others in there. And I think that's everything, right?
Yep.
Okay. Well, thank you all again. We'll probably see you next month with chapter 108. Who knows what the title is going to be crazy, I bet, for it.
Very excited.
Because it wasn't Wonder Review part whatever. It was Kaito's attack or something like that.
Yeah, Kaito's attack 1, I think.
Attack. I keep saying Kaito. I will break this because it's been a while. I try to get over this. I'm sorry.
This has been a years-long ailment for you.
I have not had to say her name for 2 years. I've been actively trying to avoid saying her name because the way I pronounce it is terrible. I know it's terrible. I apologize.
You just gotta say it right.
I don't apologize.
You just gotta say it right.
Yes, maybe I'll get there.
All right, and with that, I'm gonna finally end this. Thank you all again so much for listening. The 4th thank you. Okay, goodbye.
Goodbye.